For daily ask Reddit, when was there a time where you shouldn't have laughed at something, but you did? I was 18 to 20 and working at a department store. 3 men walked up to me and struck up a conversation while buying white button-up shirts. Apparently they were buying matching shirts for a wedding. They asked if there was a child's suit section. One of them added, "The best man lost so much weight." I cut off the sentence with a chuckle and he finished that he died and looked at me like I was a monster. They all looked really sad or mad depending on who you looked at. They apparently were going to buy a suit for the son of the deceased that was stepping in for him. They asked to see my manager and she was really disappointed in me for laughing at a story like that. I did my best to tell her that I had no idea it was something terrible like that and I was just laughing since I thought he lost so much weight he needed a kid's suit. She didn't really buy it and she didn't respect me after that. When I was a student nurse, I was asked to tell an patient that his daughter couldn't come visit him because she fell down the stairs and had broken both her arms. I could barely contain myself because the patient was there because he had broken both his arms. My friend's memorial service. He passed away at only 24. Obviously it's really somber and everyone is crying. His mom goes up to speak. One of my best friends who was one of his best friends used to joke about wanting to sleep with his mom. It was an ongoing dialect between them that was really hilarious. His mom goes up, starts talking, and he whispers, "I still really want to motorboat your mom's tits, dude." Like 4 of us just lost it. It was extremely inappropriate and everyone stopped and just looked at us. I tried to pretend I was crying to ease the tension. Rest easy, Chris. We all miss you. I laughed at my grandfather's funeral. Didn't shed a tear. It led to few people, neighbors, not family. Fam knows what happened, thinking I did something bad to him. My grandfather was bedridden for 16 years. His left side of the body was paralyzed. I was 17, so basically all my life I've seen him bedridden. And he was my best friend. He asked me not to cry and always think that God took him because he couldn't see him suffer anymore and wherever he's going he'll be happy. So to distract myself from crying, I started thinking about all the good times we had and ended up laughing at one such memory. So yeah, that was pretty terrible. It happens to me more than I care to admit, but the worst time was at my brother's memorial. An aunt we had, who was a very nice person, had got religion recently and decided to sing a gospel song. The problem was she couldn't sing at all. She got up, with no backing music, and sang a really out of tune gospel song. The worst part was she took really long pauses between some of the lyrics, so people started to clap thinking she was done with the song. She wasn't. This went on for like 5 minutes. She would pause, people would start to slow clap, then she would start caterwauling again. I buried my face in my hands and people sitting behind me started consoling me because they thought I was overcome with emotion as my shoulders were shaking violently. I did have tears running down my face though. I still feel very bad about this. Edit. Forgot a word. In high school we watched a play where a girl dies of a drug overdose. The girl playing the part was way over dramatic, really chewing up the scenery, and when she finally collapsed dead on her bed the theater was dead silent. A special needs kid in the audience yelled out "Oh well," and the place exploded with laughter. At my Uncle Bill's funeral, my Aunt Mary claimed that she had cared for him in his darkest times. I let out a solid ha. Everyone turned towards me. I finished with an uncontrollable giggle, poorly hidden behind my hand and a wad of tissues. No regrets. R.I.P. Uncle Bill, the 17th of December 19. Edit. She, in fact, did not care for him in his darkest times. Back when I was around 10 to 11, my family went to a funeral for an aunt that passed away due to cancer. My dad wasn't really close to like that aunt in particular, personal issues that are too boring to go into detail, but he still went to the funeral. He wasn't making a scene or talking bad about her or anything, he was just mainly keeping to himself. So, during a moment of silence, my cousin, her daughter, started singing The Avenue Mariah as an eulogy, I guess, while everyone was sitting. Quietly, Dad started mock singing in a very high-pitched tone, quiet enough not to be heard by anyone around, loud enough to be heard by me, sitting by his side. I started covering my mouth cause I wanted to lord so hard. The more I tried to contain myself, the more my dad did the high pitch singing, up to the point that my eyes were teary. Another aunt behind me saw me, bent over, holding my stomach and my mouth, and I guess she thought I was crying. She leaned over and said, "Don't worry honey, she's in a better place." I lost my shit. I lost it so bad. It was one of those laughing fits that the more you try to contain yourself, the more you laugh. Even my cousin stopped singing and just looked at me as if I had killed her mom myself. I excused myself and got out of there fast. I waited for the rest of my family inside the car while the rest of the family just stared daggers at me. During the car ride, I had to explain to my mom and my sister that my dad was the one who made me laugh. My dad just answered, "She's lucky I didn't bring my trombone," and did a wah wah while they were putting her on the ground.